Already? What is your destiny? I will avenge Scar.
Hey everyone, so we all know Kovu from The Lion King too, right? The dark-furred lion chosen by Scar to be his heir. But here's the thing that's always bothered me about his story. In the movie, Nuka literally says, Kovu, Kovu, Scar wasn't even his father, he just took him in. So if Scar just adopted him, then who are Kovu's real parents? And is Zira even his biological mother? Because when you look at Kovu next to the rest of his family, he doesn't look like any of them. But you know who he does look like? The lions from the Night Pride at the Tree of Life. Today, I'm sharing a theory that explains everything, and trust me, this is going to change how you see Kovu's entire story. Let's start with the obvious. Look at Kovu's appearance compared to his supposed family. Zira has angular features, piercing green eyes, and reddish tan fur. Nuka is scrawny with darker coloring. Vitani has her mother's sharp features. But Kovu? Rich brown fur, broader build, completely different facial structure. He looks nothing like them. Now watch The Lion Guard and check out the Night Pride at the Tree of Life. Surak has that same dark brown fur. Nirmala has similar features. Even Kovu's personality, protective, honorable, questioning authority, that's Night Pride energy, not Outlander behavior. So how could this connection be possible? Well, let me tell you a story that ties everything together. Let's go back to Mufasa's reign, before everything went wrong. Mufasa was a wise king who understood the importance of allies beyond his own borders. He would have consulted Rafiki about establishing connections with other territories, especially places like the Tree of Life, a mystical sanctuary that could heal injured animals. So Mufasa and Rafiki traveled there and met Queen Janna. They formed an alliance, promising that animals from both kingdoms would always be welcome and helped. For years, this arrangement worked perfectly. There was peace, cooperation, and mutual respect between the lands. But then Mufasa died, Scar took over, and everything changed. Under Scar's rule, the Pride Lands fell into ruin. But Scar had another problem. He needed an heir. He wanted Sarabi to be his queen, but she refused. So he turned to Zira, a lioness from the Outlands who was completely obsessed with Scar. Zira gave birth to Nuka, but Nuka was weak and sickly, not the powerful heir Scar wanted. This made Scar furious, and he started treating Zira coldly, blaming her for the cub's weakness. Zira was devastated. She was so desperate for Scar's approval that she became obsessed with giving him the perfect heir. She tried again and had Vitani, but Scar wanted a male heir, someone who could be king. So now Zira is absolutely desperate, doing anything to regain Scar's favor. And that's when opportunity walks right into her territory. Meanwhile, at the Tree of Life, Queen Janna is thinking about her old friend Mufasa. It's been years since they've connected, and she wants to know how things are going in the Pride Lands. She can't leave herself, so she asks her son Surak and his mate Nirmala to make the journey. They've just had a cub, a healthy baby boy with dark brown fur, and it would be a great opportunity to show him the world. Both Surak and Nirmala are Night Pride members, skilled fighters and experienced travelers. They gladly accept the mission. So they set off with their young cub, excited to meet the legendary Mufasa and see the Pride Lands. But they have no idea what's waiting for them. As they travel through the Outlands, they notice something's wrong. The land is barren, dried up, dead-looking. This isn't what Queen Janna described. Nirmala is exhausted from the journey. She's still recovering from giving birth, and traveling with such a young cub has been harder than expected. They decide to rest before the final push to Pridemark. That's when disaster strikes. One of Zira's lionesses spots them, strange brown lions with a cub. She runs straight back to Zira with the news, and Zira sees her solution. Zira doesn't hesitate. She gathers her strongest lionesses and orders them to attack and take the cub. Surak and Nirmala don't see it coming. They're resting, exhausted, in unfamiliar territory. By the time they realize they're surrounded, it's too late. These are Night Pride warriors. They can fight, but they're outnumbered, exhausted, and desperately trying to protect their cub. They can't fight at full strength. In the chaos, Zira grabs her son and runs. Her lionesses scatter in different directions. Surak tries to chase them, but he doesn't know which one has his cub, and Nirmala is badly injured, barely conscious. He makes an impossible choice. He saves Nirmala's life instead of chasing his son. Surak carries Nirmala towards Pride Rock, desperate for help. He finds Sarabi and asks for assistance. That's when he learns the truth. Mufasa is dead. Scar rules the Pride Lands. Now everything has fallen apart. Sarabi wants to help, but bringing them to Pride Rock would be suicide. Scar is paranoid and violent. If he sees another male lion, he'll kill him immediately. She takes them to Rafiki's tree to hide and recover. When Surak asks if she can help get their cub back, Sarabi's face falls. Your cub was taken by Zira. She has Scar's protection and an army of hyenas. There's no way to fight them and win. But she adds one small comfort. I don't think she'll hurt him. I think she's going to raise him as her own to give Scar the heir he wants. The next morning, Surik and Nirmala leave the Pridelands before dawn. Every step away from their son feels like betrayal, but they have no choice. They're injured, alone, and outnumbered. When they return to the Tree of Life and tell Queen Janna what happened, she's heartbroken. She feels responsible. They discuss mounting a rescue mission, but news reaches them that the Pridelands are getting even worse under Scar's rule. It would be suicide to go back now. So they wait, and grieve, and hope. Then tragedy strikes again. Surik's brother and his mate die, leaving behind 2 orphaned cubs, Rani and Balio. For Nirmala and Surak, it feels like a second chance. They adopt the cubs as their own, raising them with all the love they couldn't give their lost son. But they never forget him. They think about him every day, wondering if he's alive, if he's safe, if he remembers them. As Queen Janna grows older, and Rani and Balio need them, Surik and Nirmala make a painful decision. They can't risk leaving to search for their son. They have to trust the circle of life to bring him back if it's meant to be. Back in the Outlands, Zira presents the cub to Scar. His name is Kovu. He can be your heir. Scar is pleased. This cub looks strong, much stronger than Nuka. Zira throws herself into training Kovu, molding him into Scar's perfect image. But there's something she can't change: Kovu's nature. No matter how hard she tries to teach him hatred, there's something gentle in him, something that questions her teachings. He never quite fits, always feeling like he doesn't belong. Then Scar dies, defeated by Simba. Zira attacks Simba, claiming Kovu's the rightful heir, but she's banished to the Outlands. Her hatred grows stronger. She becomes obsessed with training Kovu to infiltrate the Pridelands and kill Simba. But we know how that story ends. Kovu falls in love with Kiara. He chooses peace over revenge. When Zira launches her final attack, Kovu and Vitani stand against her. Zira falls to her death, and finally, there's peace. The Outlanders are welcomed back to the Pridelands. But Kovu still doesn't know the truth about who he really is. Time passes. Kion, Simba's second cub, becomes leader of the Lion Guard and eventually travels to the Tree of Life to heal. There, he falls in love with Rani and decides to stay as her king. For his coronation, many Pridelanders make the journey to the Tree of Life, including Kovu and Kiara. When they arrive, something strange happens. Animals keep staring at Kovu, doing double takes. "You look just like Surik when he was younger," one says. Kiara laughs it off, but Kovu starts feeling something strange, a pull, a sense of familiarity he can't explain. That's when 2 Night Pride members approach him, an older male with dark brown fur and a female with kind eyes. The moment Kovu sees the male, his heart races. It's like looking at his future self. "Where are you from?" the older male asks gently. The female is staring at Kovu with tears in her eyes. "I grew up in the Outlands," Kovu explains. "My mother raised me to hate the Pridelanders, but I chose differently. I never knew my father. Scar just chose me as his heir. I always felt like I didn't belong." The female gasps. "Kovu?" Kovu freezes. "How do you know my name?" The male lion, Surik, begins explaining about a journey, years ago, to the Pridelands, about being ambushed, about their cub being stolen by Zira. "You think I'm your son?" Kovu can barely breathe. They call for Rafiki and Makini. Using the Tree of Life's magic, they confirm what everyone suspects. Kovu is their son, the cub stolen all those years ago. Nirmala breaks down. Surik is crying. Even Kovu can't hold back tears. "I'm sorry we didn't come back," Nirmala sobs. "It's okay," Kovu says, meaning it. "You did what you had to do. I understand." For the first time in his life, everything makes sense to Kovu. Why he looked different, why he felt like he didn't belong, and why kindness came more naturally than cruelty. It wasn't despite his upbringing. It was his true heritage. His real parents were protectors and healers, honorable Night Pride members. Over the next few days, Kovu learns about his family, the Tree of Life, and Queen Janna's mission. He meets Rani and Balio properly, his adopted siblings who welcome him with open arms. Eventually, Kovu and Kiara must return to the Pridelands, but they promise to visit often, and Nirmala and Surik promise the same. As they journey home, Kovu feels complete for the first time. He knows where he comes from, he knows why he's different, and he knows his capacity for love wasn't weakness, it was his true nature. So what do you think? Does this theory explain Kovu's appearance and personality? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more Lion King theories. Remember, we're all connected in the great circle of life.